Hi, we're group 5 and we're going to be going through our recommendation for Autism Community Network. So Autism Community Network, being a not-for-profit organisation, is struggling to grow their business and increase their business revenue. ACN being an all-inclusive autism community, and by doing so are not listing each member and their place on the spectrum to receive funding from NDIS, unlike majority of their competitors, does give them a disadvantage in having more revenue. But it does give them an advantage in the community as they are a supportive, free community of inclusion who create awareness to the world. With ACN's current income stream being solely reliant on the minimal government funding, low donations they receive, and the founders' personal funds, we have come together and analysed their standings, their operations, how they compare to the competitors, what potential room for growth they have, and what we can potentially implement to both gain wider recognition for ACN and thereby to lead an increase in their revenue. The two recommendations we have come up with include both educational and career development opportunities to ACN's members and lead to a revenue stream opportunity for ACN itself. And now Nizal will start us off with our first recommendation.
Thank you, Alicia, for that introduction. I will be discussing the first recommendation we have for the Autism Community Network. This recommendation is based on research that found people with disabilities need to increase their adult equivalent disposable income by 50% in order to achieve the same standard of living as those without a disability. In addition, 60% of adults along the autism spectrum are unemployed. These are the two issues we aim to address with this recommendation. The first recommendation aims to expand the Autism Community Network by creating a partnership with TAFE New South Wales to provide additional services to create education and career development opportunities for people within the ACN network. It is recommended that the ACN partner with TAFE New South Wales to develop courses which will promote work skills for autistic individuals. We would propose that through partnering with TAFE, the ACN can help develop specific courses which cater for autistic individuals in order for them to gain employment skills and therefore employment. Currently, TAFE offers certifications in vocational skills. These courses include nationally recognized training, a pathway to employment for future training, and improved digital literacy and employability skills. We would propose TAFE extend these programs to create specialized and individualized courses for people on the autism spectrum. The ACN can provide its understanding of autism and its requirements in order to create these adjusted programs. The 4 courses proposed for development are basic reading and writing skills, basic travel skills, communication skills, as well as a social skills camp. We have proposed these courses because they will ensure anyone on the spectrum can gain specific life skills which they don't naturally have to ensure they have adequate knowledge and understanding for employment purposes. By providing life skills rather than higher education, the ACN and TAFE will be providing more relevant and accessible options for autistic individuals. Furthermore, the ACN can expand its network if it is able to provide a range of relevant services. We have proposed 3 ways for this to be funded. 1, through the Skills for Education and Employment Government Initiative. Under this initiative, the government will invest $49.5 million to educational programs, which includes TAFE. We would propose this budget can be used to allocate funds for the development of these courses. 2, the Schooling Resources Standard, which provides additional funding for students with disabilities, and the funding reflects the level of additional support needed in order to participate fully in school. TAFE New South Wales students would be eligible for this additional funding. 3, the Autism Spectrum Disorder Foundation, which funds Social Skills Camp. All that's required for students is a medical certificate to certify that a student is on the autism spectrum. Furthermore, the proposed budget of $1 million will be used for course developments, educators, technology, classroom resources, as well as the media and advertising budget. All this aims to achieve 3 key outcomes which cannot be generally achieved through normal classroom activities without adjustments. 1, personalized learning. Due to every person on the spectrum being different, personalized learning can be developed to help each individual through an adjusted curriculum. 2, provide structure. By creating Catering for autistic individuals, the structured classes can be adjusted to be more flexible by providing additional resources and additional time for students to complete tasks. This allows for the repetition of tasks in order to create structure. And 3, create additional educational support. As more educators may be required, this cannot be achieved in traditional classroom environments. The additional educational support can assist with limiting long verbal instructions and reward positive behaviours. And now Ingrid will be discussing Blue Ocean strategies and how this recommendation will provide innovation and value for the Autism Community Network.
Thank you, Nadal. So to further explain our recommendation, I'll discuss a few Blue Ocean strategy tools. The first one is the value innovation model, which considers the balance between the cost savings for ACN and the changes in buyer value for the ACN customers. So when looking at this model, you can see that the buyer value increases because of the courses in partnership with TAFE New South Wales, which equip autistic individuals with valuable life and soft skills which are transferable into the workforce. Now, whilst some of ACN's competitors offer assistance for students in regards to enrolling and selecting TAFE courses, we feel that there is a gap in the market for more specialised course offerings for autistic individuals. So this type of service would differentiate ACN from their competitors and increase the buyer value. Cost savings for ACN can be found in the form of time savings. By outsourcing a lot of the activities to TAFE, this will eliminate the need for a lot of administrative duties on behalf of the ACN volunteers. This model shows how this recommendation will satisfy the 4th Blue Ocean strategy path by expanding the scope of their offerings to maximise the value of ACN services in an uncontested market. The next Blue Ocean tool I'll discuss is the buyer utility map, which will help ACN identify a full range of utilities which they can pursue in order to operate within a Blue Ocean market. The utility refers to a dimension of ACN service, while the buyer experience refers to the effort required for the user to actually consume the service. So in this model, you can see that the red squares represent pain points which inhibit buyer utility. These include the timely process of enrolling in a TAFE course, the supplements required to complete the course, such as computers and technology, the inconvenient nature of attending physical classes in designated locations, as well as the reliance on industry professionals to actually teach the courses. The blue squares, however, indicate Blue Ocean openings that can enhance buyer utility, such as improving the productivity of the TAFE courses, transitioning to a more user-friendly, convenient delivery mode, which is catered towards autistic students, as well as promoting a fun image. So rather than just studying, the individuals are actually gaining transferable life skills. So these Blue Ocean areas represent ways that ACN should capitalise on to create new user utility. The next Blue Ocean tool I'll look at is the 3 tiers of non-customers. So the first are industry customers, and these are current customers of ACN. For example, the autistic individual or their immediate network, family and friends. So whilst they're not necessarily looking to enrol in a university degree or TAFE course, they do want to upskill themselves to increase their chances of becoming employed. Because of this, they are considered a red ocean group as they are already consuming the service and do not need to be converted. The first tier of non-customers are consumers of potentially competitive autistic support network services, and so they do not display any brand loyalty or reliance on the competitors' services, and so for this reason they can be easily swayed into becoming ACN's industry customers. And so to convert them, ACN should increase the buyer utility of their services and then promote this. The second tier of non-customers are refusing to engage with ACN services. This is because they are currently satisfied with what they are already receiving. To convert the second tier of non-customers, ACN should showcase their key points of difference. These could be the free price point or the tailored course offerings with real-world outcomes. The third tier of non-customers represent the biggest pool for ACN. These customers are either unaware or unconcerned with ACN services. And so to convert these customers, ACN should increase their advertising and promotional activity to increase brand awareness, as well as diversifying their service offerings. For example, offering courses in autism education or care to appeal to a wider market. This is what a potential implementation timeline could look like for ACN over the next 12 months. Within the first month, ACN should establish a partnership with TAFE New South Wales, as well as conduct research into the most receptive courses, which could involve redefining the curriculum and learning outcomes to suit the specific needs of autistic individuals. Within 3 months, ACN should launch 2 to 3 trial classes exclusively for ACN members located at one TAFE location in New South Wales. They should monitor the progress of these classes, things like the level of interest, the attendance rate, and the learning outcomes to essentially determine whether the classes are successful or not. Within 6 months, ACN should redefine the scope of these classes to cater for the specific interests and abilities of the attendees. This could involve having tiered levels of classes. They should also expand to more TAFE locations depending on its success. Within 1 year, ACN should reach out to partner industries to enable postgraduate job progression. For example, Telstra, who have a commitment to hiring employees with varying disabilities. I'll now pass on to Jack, who will be discussing our second recommendation.
Hello, I'm Jack Teresiano, and this is our second recommendation. Unlike our first recommendation that focuses on education, this recommendation looks more at employment. This recommendation requires the ACN to partner with small to medium-sized recruitment agencies in which all members of the ACN can find appropriate employment. By doing this, these agencies will have the benefits of being sponsors of the ACN, along with their large member base as potential new clients. The ACN would receive a commission or charge a small fee if these members are successfully employed. It is very important that the ACN fees out a way to generate sufficient revenue to support their operations, as the ACN is at the mercy of their suppliers due to strong supplier power. This comes down to the lack of funding to obtain these supplies outside of donations and a strong reliance on grants to maintain operations. Currently, in regards to employment for people with autism, there are major players like Nova and APM. However, these disability-focused employment agencies are literally just employment agencies and do not offer services like the ACN. By partnering with recruitment and employment agencies, it allows the ACN to take advantage of a blue ocean, something their competitors have not yet taken advantage of. The organisation holds a sufficient number of members to make this sustainable and is a great value proposition that can help attract new members outside of the community to join because of a new service. As the ACN community grows in time, so will their revenue stream from this recommendation. With the ACN having a large number of households in their network, finding people who are looking for employment shouldn't be too difficult. It will be the time spent finding small to medium-sized recruitment agencies who are looking to expand their client base and wanting to improve their corporate social responsibility. That will be the biggest time consumer of this idea. Low setup costs and an improved value innovation, along with greater ability to grow the network, are the main benefits outside of revenue generation for this recommendation. However, the best structuring for this idea is for jobs that would have been applied for and secured by members of the ACN. The agency would pay a finder's fee. The firm would either pay a reasonable fee or, even better, a 5 to 10% of their profit for that position that was hired. This would be the only time that the agency would pay, instead of just directly donating. It allows these firms to gain access to not only members of the ACN who live with autism, but any of the members who are part of the ACN. This not only proves the value proposition for the agency, but also new members who have not joined the ACN. A growing member base will further encourage agencies to want to deal with the ACN, as it not only benefits their CSR, but in turn provides more candidates for their available positions. The recommendation also meets all phases of strategic sequence for a blue ocean business idea. As seen, it provides exceptional buyer utility for both the ACN members and agencies. Its price is reasonable, as agencies are only paying part of their profit to access the ACN and is free for their members. Costs are very low due to already established social media communications. And finally, the only hurdle involved for this is getting agencies on board with this business plan. This recommendation meets client partner objectives, with the ACN trying to improve their revenue and make themselves less reliant on grants and donations, and without having to charge their members or rely on NDIS funding. This recommendation is one of their best options to improve in this area. It meets the client partner objectives and is low maintenance, as they will essentially be outsourcing the work. It also diversifies their service offering and adds more value to the ACN. As their member base gets larger, it opens up the likelihood of greater income for the ACN. This model is scalable and can be applied no matter how large the organisation becomes. This model will also be low cost, as the ACN would not be dedicating too much time outside of securing these memberships, as advertising any available positions can be done by posting in their Facebook groups. Now over to Alicia, who will discuss his recommendations, 3 tiers of non-customers, implementation timeline, and conclude our presentation.
Thanks, Jack. So I'm going to talk about the 3 tiers of non-customers and also the timeline of implementation for the second recommendation we have. So the 3 tiers of non-customers start with the current customer industry, and these are ACN's teens, young adults, and adults looking to expand their options for current and future careers perspectives. ACN's clientele would benefit by having the support they have always had from ACN, along with the help of a recruitment agency they are working with to guide them in job seeking. And paired with recommendation 1, those with autism are able to obtain skill certificates that can further their chances in employment through companies that are partnered with ACN and the recruitment agency they work with. Tier 1 are the soon-to-be non-customers, which for ACN would be the customers who are trying out the agency or even exploring alternate options through their competitors, like programs run by Aspect. This industry would also help amend their strategy, along with help grow ACN's customer base. And the second tier is the refusing customer tier. These are those who are unable to afford or gain access to the area of market, which creates an advantage for ACN as they are a free service for the community, but partnering with an agency or even industries to help those with autism would give ACN the possibility of a revenue stream opportunity. Finally, the third tier is the unexplored non-customers. These are those who haven't been considered yet, and they would be the market who haven't heard of ACN or are unaware of the services they provide. ACN can start with work experience to this group to see if they enjoy the job or would like to explore alternate avenues and hence gain interest from this market. And now we're going to talk about the timeline of implementation. So our timeline guide of implementing this program over 1 year starts off with the first month by establishing organisations as well as recruitment agencies to work with in assisting with job seeking for those with autism. Then in 3 months, we expect to have organisations set with a range that would cater to multiple interests of people with autism, as well as determining which recruitment agencies will provide the best support to ACN and their members and start helping find jobs for those seeking them. We also aim to have 5 organisations aside from those provided by the agency by the end of the 3 months. And by the time that 6 months comes around, we aim to have a steady program set with pairing those with autism to jobs that suit their needs and skill set, and having a program also set that allows them to trial the job even as an opportunity of work experience would be something that would be really great to put on their resume for future job perspectives. And by the end of our first year of this program, we are set to have 10 to 15 organisations partnered up with ACN, aside from those provided by the recruitment agency. And these would help people with autism gain experience and have a place of employment that they do feel comfortable and safe in that environment working in. And finally, therefore, we believe these recommendations have a great opportunity for ACN's overall growth, both in their community and with their revenue stream opportunity of wider recognition that should help increase donations along with the potential to gain funds from companies they partner with. Thank you.